Some Wednesday night West Coast action in the USL Championship as the Oakland Roots host the Las Vegas Lights from East Bay Pioneer Stadium in Hayward, California. Happy to have you along this evening alongside MLS veteran Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Joe Malfa. And Ricky, these are two teams in very different ways right now in the Western Conference. Vegas brings up the rear. Oakland yet again climbing into that home playoff game battle.
And we'll start with the visitors, this Las Vegas Lights side, talking to Cedric Sanchez, saying he was very disappointed with the last time out his boys had played against Hartford Athletic at home. Didn't perform well enough, so what does that reaction look like the first 10 to 15 minutes? But for the Roots, 2 games on the bounce on the road, you pick up 6 points. They're going to be firing, they're going to be confident. And again, how quickly can they get in a rhythm and ask questions of the visitors?
And this stretch for the Roots over the last 8 games, you mentioned their last 2 wins on the road, 6 goals scored in that stretch. Prior to that, it was winless in 6. So out of nowhere on the road against 2 playoff teams in Monterey Bay and El Paso, they figure things out once again.
And it's funny because we had the chance to talk to Noel Delgado, and he says, look, we bring players back from the Gold Cup. That's just going to rise the tempo. That's going to rise the quality. And also our bench gets deeper. So the players that come in just rise the level as well. But the Oakland Roots going to El Paso, go down a goal, talk about character, talk about being clinical in both boxes.
Now Vegas, they want to be a rock in the shoe, and that's taken directly from a quote from Isidro Sanchez, their head coach. They want to make it uncomfortable for any opponent they play, and despite their record, they've done that all season. So many ties, 1-goal performances against solid teams above that playoff line.
And we talked to every single coach around the league, every single player around the league, saying, look, this Las Vegas Lights side is never an easy out. But again, it's just that final action, whether it's in between their goal, in front of the goal, the lack of being clinical. That's a difference why you see them dropping the table. But again, for Isidro Sanchez, it's all about the reaction. And what an opportunity to come into the Oakland Roots that are firing to take all 3 points back home.
Their lone win on the season came on the road against Phoenix. Can they do it again on the road in the Western Conference and upset things for the Oakland Roots here, who are feeling all sorts of confident right now after back-to-back wins on the road? It's Oakland, it's Vegas, and it is next here in Hayward, California.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, empowered all athletes to improve physical health, and expanded health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community, together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
My name is Ed, and I live in San Leandro, California. I've always been concerned about being prepared and being on a medical baseline where I have a CPAP machine. I was wondering, will I be able to keep that thing going? I got an email from East Bay Community Energy, and they mentioned a rebate about getting an electrical generator. So I went for it. East Bay Community Energy has been great. They're doing a job to help our environment, and I think they're really supportive.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't many adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
Dejando para Enfeca. ¡No se metió! ¡Balón adentro, golazo!
Tonight's match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross, UCSF, and Modelo. Starting lineups tonight brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. And this is what it looks like tonight for Noah Delgado and the Oakland Roots.
And we'll take a look at that front line, Rodriguez, Reed, and Cedeno. What does that relationship look like? John Rodriguez, he has a really good feel when to pop in the hole, but also when to stretch. You're going to see Matsoso and Gomez. They're going to be right in front of the back line, so how compact can they be? As one goes, one stays in that back line, the fluidity. As the wingbacks pick and choose when they get in the final third, if you're Noah Delgado, this side needs to be confident and they need to be motivated in the first 10 minutes here today.
A couple of players on the other side for Vegas and head coach Isidro Sanchez, who haven't really started much this year. It's the first start of the season for Issa Ryan and only the third for Danny Rios.
And then look at Josh Dowling. He's going to be the one spearheading the attack. That relationship between him and Andrew Carlton. Carlton's going to pick and choose the pockets that he picks up because he's going to be a special player. He can beat you 1v1. He can beat you through combination play. Issa Ryan, the pick and choose when to join that side. Rios and Jimenez, they're going to be right in front of that back line. And again, how quickly can they get in a rhythm? And that back four needs to be compact and keep everything in front of them.
A Vegas side that has just one win on the season, but they have been a very difficult team to get past. Oakland cannot take them lightly if they're looking for a third consecutive victory, as they've started to climb once again in the Western Conference standings. It's Oakland in the black from left to right. It's Vegas in the white and blue from right to left. And your referee tonight, Adore Monroy. Are set for action at Pioneer Stadium. Back-to-back wins on the road for the Roots. Now they come back home, looking to make it 3 in a row against the pesky Vegas side. Underway now at Pioneer Stadium. Good to have you along this evening. With MLS veteran Ricky Lopez-Espin, I'm Joe Malfa. Oakland winless in 6 matches before their last 2 wins. Back-to-back on the road by identical 3-1 score lines. Vegas coming off a difficult loss at home against Hartford Athletic, team that's at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. Over the last month, draws against New Mexico, Birmingham, tight games against Louisville, Tampa Bay. Just shows the mettle of this Las Vegas side. Now Oakland cannot look past them in any way. That's a chord struck by Noah Delgado in our chat ahead of this one. In scouting Vegas, he knows the quality they possess and what they can do on a given night. And he felt that if this was a game his team took lightly, that's a game his team would falter in. And Clementa looks long down the left side for Memo Diaz. Has some options. Diaz plays it centrally, and it away by Lage, only as far as Gomez back into the 11 tonight for Oakland. Andres Jimenez for Andrew Carlton. Carlton muscled off the ball by Nabil Hackshaw. Really big to have him back from the Gold Cup and back into the swing of things again. Once he came back from the Gold Cup, he picked up that red card against Memphis, missed the match. Now back in the thick of things as Tamakas plays forward. Some contact in the area. Dorian Monroy says play on as Trayvon Reed is down holding his left leg. And a foul against Oakland.
Already you see for this Oakland Roots side just changing the point of attack with the wing backs, providing the width, but also just overloading, asking questions of the outside backs for Las Vegas Lights, whether it's Tyler Bagley, whether it's Lucas Stauffer. How quickly can those guys be decisive, whether it's staying compact or also to push out and isolate their individual attacker. So again, always picking and choosing the times when to go, but also when to drop off.
Trayvon Reed only earning his second start of the season. Oakland made a move that we'll dive a bit deeper into at halftime. Darek Formella went to Phoenix. Babacar Jai comes back the other way to Oakland in corresponding transfers. So with that, it opens the door for a player like Trayvon Reed, and with 3 games in a week, Lindo Mafeka goes to the bench tonight. So insert Trayvon Reed, has a goal to his name this year, only 1 start. Given away by Hackshaw. Centrally, it's Dowling, back for Carlton, and blocked by Hackshaw, kept alive now. On the right wing by Otang. Carlton plays it back. Stauffer. Rios clips it over the top. Dangerous moment after Hackshaw's uncharacteristic giveaway. Tyler Bagley unable to keep it in, now for a goal kick.
So Oakland Roots side needs to be very careful. How clean can they be when playing out of the back? We see how explosive the outside players for Las Vegas Lights are, whether it is Otang, whether it is Ryan. Turn their defensive efforts into attacking opportunities. So yes, you want to build out with a 3 back here if you know Delgado. Picking and choosing your times when to try to break lines, but also just when to play direct is going to be key for the Roots.
Andres Jimenez sent it long. It's out for a Vegas throw. Isidro Sanchez mentioned that at various points of this season, felt like Vegas was on the brink of a breakout, and just in some of their games, a moment here, moment there, a couple of bounces, and you're talking about a much different record. Wants to see it come more to fruition down the stretch. Very process-based. They're confident in what they've started to build here in what was such a difficult turnaround season for Vegas, to be fair. Getting rid of that relationship they had with LAFC. One of those players buoyed the roster last year, so much turnover, including Sanchez as the head coach, instilling his style of play. Considering all of the change and the long stretch of road games they had to begin this season, put them really in a tight spot from the get-go. Weather the storm. Their record is poor. There's no other way around it. A win, 10 losses, and 8 draws. But so many, as we illustrated at the top of the show, have been one-goal games. Those draws, 7 of them against teams above the playoff line. He's happy with the process they've had in place this year.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Joe. You're talking about the turnover that this Las Vegas light side has had to deal with. 18, 19 new players coming in. How quickly can they get comfortable? It starts in preseason to start the foundation. But it's really interesting. Yes, 1 win out of your first 23 games for this Las Vegas light side. Their heads don't hang. They keep on fighting for every 50-50 ball. They are together. You see, you have a sense of unison between this Las Vegas light side, and that just speaks about Isidro Sanchez having his fingerprint all over the locker room and having the willingness for these boys to come together.
They whistled that play dead. Free kick taken too quickly by Oakland. Jessiel Cedeno smashed the shot wide. Cedeno is a player that has started to find some more freedom now for the Oakland Roots as he's grown more comfortable in the system. The 6 goals scored over the last 2 games. Noah Delgado credits to some tweaks in the attacking third, giving Lindo Mafeka, Jessiel Cedeno some more freedom, giving Nabil Hackshaw the freedom to step up into the midfield and create those overloads. It's helped them immensely in terms of the output and the goal scoring. And a turnover here forced by Masoso. Finds Cedeno, looking through again for Masoso. Save made. First one of the match by Leo Diaz. Johnny Rodriguez keeps it alive. His cross was deflected and cleared by Jimenez. Take a look at tonight's injury report brought to you by UCSF Health and UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital. Just Denaciano out for Oakland. No injuries reported for Las Vegas, but a player down now on the Vegas side. Tyler Bagley slow to get up. Bagley on the left, Stauffer on the right. And Staples this season for Vegas. Bagley didn't need any assistance. Just jogged it off. Throw coming for Oakland. Nodded back by Andrew Carlton. Under some pressure now, Rios. Spun out of it. Lucas Stauffer, that's one over the top, settled by Issa Ryan. Again, his first start of the season, only 86 minutes in total off the bench for Issa Ryan this season. 6 appearances, player who had some shining moments at Tacoma Defiance. Free kick here for the Roots. Issa Ryan from California, whether it was with Philadelphia Union 2 or Tacoma in that stretch from 2017 to 2021, found himself as a regular starter. Brian Tamakas pulls it down to the end line. Tamakas centers for Rodriguez. Intercepted by Lage, and Brian Tamakas took out some of that frustration on the ad board. Felt he could have done better in the end.
He's been so massive for the Oakland Roots, getting himself in that final third, but as he gets in around that 18-yard box, if you're Johnny Rodriguez, you do well to have a secondary action, but there needs to be another player. Whether you are Daniel Reed, as Rodriguez comes near post, he pulls out a center back. That far post is straight open. So you start to see the overload defensively for Las Vegas Lights to deny the Oakland Roots an opening goal.
Rodriguez, Masoso. Johnny Rodriguez now up to 8 goals on the season, leading the way for the Oakland Roots. He scored what turned out to be the game-winning goal against El Paso on the weekend. Jessiel Cedeno on the flick from Tamacas, curling it ahead toward Rodriguez. Too much on it. Leo Diaz has it, but good vision again from Cedeno.
You talked about the freedom that Noah Delgado gives Cedeno underneath Johnny Rodriguez to float in and out of lines, whether it's centrally, whether it's providing the wide option as well. It's just so comfortable, the vision that he's possesses, the left foot. He's been massive since coming over for Oakland Roots here today.
They didn't necessarily know it at the time, Oakland, when they sent Rito to Hartford in return for Cedeno at the injury bug. And of course, the Gold Cup bug would really bite the midfield in that middle stretch of the season. And they had those extra bodies at outside back. So they were able to sacrifice Rito, and Cedeno turned out to play a big role. Now there was a little bit of time there where they were thin at outside back, and had to recall Wolfgang Prentice from loan. He got some good run. He had an assist against El Paso the last time out. Had a great ball into Anwar Pelaez. Cedeno has been a revelation for this team in the attack. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Danny Barbier pushing ahead once again, finds Cedeno. Runs right into Otang. Intercepted by Memo Diaz. Now Masoso spins it out for Brian Tamacas. Tamacas off a successful Gold Cup individually with El Salvador. Well, the team would have hoped for more success. Scored his first international goal on a penalty in that tournament. Hackshaw.
Lights are having a very difficult time once they recover the ball. Just to connect their first ball out of the back too many times. It's a wayward pass.
Cedeno trying to look through for Tamacas. We've seen it now time and again with Cedeno. The pass that doesn't look like it's there is the one he goes for, and at times is pulled off for the Roots.
Just see the relationship between him and Tamacas on this near side. Tamacas plays wide, Cedeno comes centrally. Always want to have that different playing that these two players have on this near side for the Oakland Roots. Makes life very difficult on outside back.
Memo Diaz from Nabil Hackshaw. Diaz looks direct, hoping for Rodriguez. And again, too long. They're looking for him early, trying to stretch that back line of Vegas, and we haven't necessarily seen this type of direct play from Oakland this year. Something that they've scouted that they feel is on tonight. Marcelo Lage, a lazy ball to the middle. Masoso intercepts. Here's Rodriguez, saved off the line by Lage. Cleans up the mess he created, and it's out for a goal kick.
Just a bit sloppy to start this game for Las Vegas Lights. It's a hospital ball. Give credit to Masoso. That's why you go out and get him. You bring him in centrally. He gives you a different look defensively to sniff out a pass. Rodriguez does the hard work. Gets it by Leo Diaz. Talk about last-ditch defending effort there from Zali. Come across and deny Oakland Roots the opening goal. But again, we're talked about not clean enough in the back for Las Vegas Lights. Trying to connect passes, try to play balls into a trafficked area. The center back, it's so important. You have to pick and choose when to play centrally, but also just when to play direct and relieve some of the pressure that you've been under.
And this time he sends it as long as he possibly can in the immediate aftermath. Timothy Zali over on loan for the remainder of the season from New Mexico. 25-year-old previously played exclusively in Switzerland until he joined New Mexico this year. So There's the one laid out on the turf. So was the one alert to that ball out of the back by Zali. That's going to go down as one of the saves of the game, to be sure. Coming from the center back. Going back there to help out the goalkeeper that he put into peril. So has missed some time this year due to an injury and a family matter, and it's limited him to just 16 starts, 17 appearances overall. There's a couple of games that he missed for those two issues. Coming over this year from Louisville. Well, there's been some rotation in that midfield for Oakland. Sometimes it's been Danny Gomez, as it is tonight. Sometimes it's been Jojo Nane. It's been consistently Napa Mososo when he's available. He's been the reliable figure in that portion of the field.
Just gives you a different look, just covers so much ground defensively. I think it's very underrated for Napa Mososo, just his quality on the ball as well. When he recovers the ball, his first look is always forward, and that's when he gives players in front of him, whether it's Daniel, whether it's Reed here tonight, a lot of space because they play off the shoulder of the opposing center midfielders. He's a player that, talking to Noah Delgado, as important as anyone in this lineup for the Oakland Roots.
The partnership he formed with Iracoze de Naciano in the early portion of the season was also very successful for the Roots, but Naciano has missed a considerable amount of time, as we showed you before, the lone player on the injury report for either team tonight. They hope to have him back in the near term, but no official word on his progression to return into the field. They're optimistic, but other details have trickled out other than that. Down the long toss, flicked along by Dalling. And a handball goes against Vegas. Danny Rios trying to claim it was his shoulder. It's been a while since I've been in an anatomy class. I looked a little bit further down than the shoulder. Andre Monroy, the referee, was right on top of it.
I think for this Las Vegas Lights side, 16 minutes in, haven't really got a passage of play, haven't got confidence in terms of just getting on a rhythm with the ball at your feet. So set pieces are going to be really important for Isidro Sanchez' side, whether it's a long throw that we just saw, corner kicks, free kicks. You need to expect quality. You need the players to get on the end, get themselves into dangerous areas.
There's Trayvon Reed. Danny Gomez. Dangerous ball forced into traffic, but Memo Diaz does well to dig it out. Back for Bagley. Bagley steps past Cedeno. Zali. And Leo Diaz. With the one big save already tonight, Diaz tries to spread it wide and does for Lucas Stauffer. Possession for Vegas, but getting a bit more dangerous now. Pressure closing in from Oakland. Saw this last game for Oakland against El Paso. Whenever the ball made its way back to the goalkeeper, very aggressive in stepping up to then win it, as they do here. Reed, Gomez brilliantly through for Memo Diaz. Diaz forced back to Gomez. Good recovery from Vegas. Getting back behind Memo Diaz. Just when it seemed like he might be in on goal. And now they win possession back. This is being the rock in the shoe. As Isidro Sanchez said, it was not comfortable for Oakland trying to set up that attack just when it seemed like it would be promising.
Give credit to Mr. Ryan on that far side. As Lucas Stauffer comes centrally, he needs to double down and do his defensive duties. Denies Memo Diaz a free lane in that 18-yard box. And those little instances for wide players, when to pick and choose, when to drop down and make that line of five, are so important. Hats off to Ryan on that far side.
Another long throw from Lucas Stauffer. Barbier nods it down. All the way back for Marcelo Lage. And now Timothy Zali. So this year for Vegas, 13 starts combined between Lage and Zali. They're two center backs tonight. Zali just recently coming on loan, played through now, looking for Darling. So you wonder what that communication is like on the back line for Vegas. Took a deflection on the ball from Stauffer, and Hackshaw takes no chances. Corner coming now for Vegas. They have some big targets to look for, namely Josh Darling, who was just picked up on loan from New Mexico 6 days ago. Andrew Carlton set this one up. Player whose production hasn't always met the reputation. Carlton swerves it in and headed away by Hackshaw. The talent he has, but at times the discipline issues, the lack of professionalism issues in Atlanta, well documented under Tata Martino, Frank DeBoer, and then trouble finding his footing in San Diego. Trouble finding his footing here because he's fouled by Trayvon Reed. Sets up Vegas with another free kick. But all the while, Carlton has only amassed 2 goals and 3 assists over the last couple of years in USL Championship.
But yeah, you talk to every single coach in USL Championship, and the first name that they highlight for this Las Vegas light side is Andrew Carlton, because he can produce that individual magic. I think you put him underneath Josh Darling, give him the freedom to roam, whether it's dropping deep, whether it's getting in behind and testing this backline for the Oakland Roots. He could be a real X factor for this Las Vegas light side.
20 minutes in, see if he can be the X factor on this delivery. Carlton handed away by Rodriguez. Otang and Carlton. Through to Rios, floated back post, a header over the bar. Lage had a chance at it, claiming it was deflected. Goal kick, the final verdict.
Good bit of play on this far side. Interchange as Ryan gets to the end line. He picks his head up and just puts his ball into the back post, tells his big man to go get it. To be fair, he out jumps Emer Clemenza, just the inability to get it underneath the crossbar.
Hackshaw. Darling's a really interesting pickup for this Vegas team. Isidro Sanchez talked about just the desire he's already seen from Darling, being with the club for a week on loan from New Mexico. They know the talent he possesses. Watch out. Almost forces a turnover here on the press, but Darling a standout collegiately at Missouri State. Last year, one of the top players for St. Louis City 2 and MLS Next Pro. He had 9 goals in his 20 starts. And this year hasn't really gotten going for New Mexico. Only 6 starts, 15 appearances overall with 3 assists. Goal scoring hasn't been there, but maybe now a change of scenery allows him to open up and get back on the score sheet in the goal column. Stauffer, no doubt looking for Darling on that one, but blocked by Danny Barbier. Get the ultimate flexibility with a drinks and seats 3-pack. Each pack includes 3 any game ticket vouchers, valid for any 2023 regular season home match. In addition, each voucher also includes 2 complimentary drinks, either beer or soft drinks, which will be available to pick up on game day. For more information, visit us at oaklandrootssc.com/tickets or call 510-488-1144. For Diaz, and Diaz sends it long again. They don't have much of a willingness to play through the lines out of the back, Vegas. Much more of a run and gun team. Looking long in the likes of Carlton, Darling, Otang, and Issa Ryan getting his first start tonight.
Especially after that warning shot that Napo Matosa just picked a pocket. Zali there. I do think you talked about the Oakland Root side just stepping a bit higher. Watch out here.
Jessiel Cedeno picks it up. Cedeno goes for goal, and it's just wide. Goal kick, the final call. Thought it might have taken a touch from Leo Diaz, but just wide from Jessiel Cedeno.
And if you do play direct, second balls are going to be so important, because if you win them, if you're the Oakland Roots, you're at advanced position. Cedeno picks up his head. No one closes down the space. He does not miss by much. It's a brilliant first touch out of his body. Has eyes for that near post, just pulls it a bit too wide. Again, yes, the two center backs for Las Vegas Lights, if you play direct, if you're Lage and Zale, you have to have the ability to step into that central location and win those second balls, because you start to see how explosive this Oakland root side can be. There's about 10 yards of space for those players.
Nabil Hackshaw settles. Ball over the top from Hackshaw, puts it on a platter for Trayvon Reed. Reed takes it out wide. Trayvon Reed centers it. Cedeno was a heartbeat behind it. When we asked Noah Delgado why the offense has picked up the last two games, it was interesting to hear him name look out again, a giveaway out of the back by Zale. Cedeno for Rodriguez, and a corner coming for the Roots. Come back to Hackshaw in a moment. His center back counterpart in Zale is having a nightmare at the back so far through 25 minutes.
Just sloppy decision making. Second time, just tries to play centrally. Cedeno reads it extremely well, but give credit to the center back. Yes, he makes a mistake, but does very well to recover himself and put this ball out for a corner kick.
Corner brought to you by East Bay Community Energy, providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more. They usually go with this two-taker look. One a decoy, one the taker. The taker is Cedeno. Maybe it should have been Memo that time. Blasted really long by Cedeno. Reed keeps it alive. Cedeno angling for it. Otang clears it. Comes all the way down. Once again, Renato Masoso. Back to Nabil Hackshaw. It was interesting to hear his name, the first one pointed to by Noah Delgado, in helping this attack get going again. That's a center back, and he's not necessarily a center back who comes up and is dangerous on set pieces. But then he elaborated a bit more, and it's just that connecting pass out of the back, so calm in the distribution. Hackshaw, when he's able to bring like this with the ball at his feet, that has helped them inch up the field. And again, 6 goals in the last 2 games after they were winless and struggling to score goals in the previous 6.
I think if you look around world football, the way that it's progressed is a center back needs to be comfortable with the ball at his feet to be decisive and also clean in his decision making. And you have Hackshaw, the ability to pop the ball into not only Matsoso and Gomez, the players in front of him, but the players beyond that initial pressure. Trayvon Reed.
Taken away again at the back, another giveaway from Vegas. That's been an issue tonight. Once again, it's a mistake left unpunished, but for now, late free kick given by Adore Monroy. Tried to play advantage, it never materialized, and this time it was Marcelo Lage who had the error. So 2 for Zale, 1 for Lage, and they need to clean it up, otherwise Oakland at some point will make them pay.
Yeah, having a very difficult time. 27 minutes in, hasn't been clean enough, hasn't been good enough for Isidro Sanchez, the 2 center backs, just giving the ball over extremely cheap to his Oakland root side. But now if you're Memo Diaz, Cedeno on the ball, you're looking for quality. You're looking to ask questions that cause chaos between the back line and Leo Diaz.
Cedeno and Diaz stand over it. Two-man wall for Vegas. If Memo Diaz was feeling confident and trying to sneak a shot to the near post. Lucas Stauffer picked up a yellow card for arguing with the referee after that free kick was given. And Diaz puts it through the wall, flicked out off the post, rebound, shout for a handball. Oakland is irate that there wasn't a call. It'll be a throw-in. Somehow it stayed out. Question is, was it because of a hand? We'll revisit it when the Oakland attack dies down. They try to play quickly off the throw-in. Clementa, nifty move. Emra Clementa, the corner on the way.
We talked about how important set pieces can be. To be honest, Memo Diaz didn't hit it as cleanly as he would like, but the traffic, and that is a handball. and badly makes himself bigger as Hackshaw gets a second bite at the apple. I think it's the extension of the elbow here as he swings a crossover. And the Las Vegas Lights get away with one. You start to see why the argument for the Oakland Roots are asking for a handball. It's not in a natural position from the outside back.
Diaz from the corner, the header just wide from Tamakas. Players tangled up inside the goal. Johnny Rodriguez is the Oakland player in the mix, and now Andrew Carlton gets into it with Nabil Hackshaw. Tempers flaring a bit here. At first it was because of the non-call, and now it's because of some contact in the area. It was Stauffer who was down on the ground with Rodriguez. Nabil Hackshaw picked up a yellow card for arguing with our official moments ago in the aftermath of the penalty non-call. And now, again, it's Stauffer upset that Rodriguez wasn't shown a card for their little scuffle in the net mouth. So this game has certainly come to life all of a sudden, and not necessarily for the right reasons. It looks like he has a bloody nose that they're tending to. All right, well, a half an hour into it, and now all of a sudden, we've got tempers flaring between Vegas and Oakland. It was a pretty calm start to this game, minus a couple of giveaways that led to dangerous chances. Statistically, 3 shots, none on target to this point. Half an hour into things, and these teams meeting for the first time this season, they're not going to be going out for dinner after this one.
Now his emotions are high. You have to manage those emotions and manage moments. You don't want to have any rash challenges, no off-the-ball extracurricular activities, especially if you're on a yellow card for the defenders. Lucas Stauffer and Nabil Hackshaw tested the discipline for the young men.
If you like the action you've seen in front of yourself so far tonight, don't miss a minute of it in 2023. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL Championship on ESPN+, home of the USL, La Liga, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Here's Stauffer, now with a plugged up left nostril. Gomez for Trayvon Reed. Dangerous, heavy challenge put in by Stauffer, and he's already on a yellow. Dorian Monroy is going to let him get away with this one. But the next one, it might not be the same story. You wear the captain's armband, you get a little bit of leeway sometimes. And that's where it's always careless to pick up a yellow card for arguing with the official, which is why he received his first one, because then you put yourself in this type of position where he could have very easily been off for that challenge.
Exactly what I just mentioned. Managing moments. Don't go into a rash challenge. No need to leave your feet there. Lucas Stauffer, you have to understand Trayvon Reed, very quick off his line, very explosive. So that first touch sets him up. And as Stauffer goes down, that's when Trayvon Reed just pushes the ball by him.
Here is Reed again on Stauffer. Reed. Stauffer holds his ground this time. If you're Lucas Stauffer, you look at the clock. You know you have to get at least to halftime without showing up on the referee's radar. Let her have halftime to maybe forget that you had that challenge and come back with a clean slate in the second half. Because if he comes in the way he did moments ago, halftime won't be the only break he has tonight. It'll be an early exit. Lucas Stauffer made his way back to the USL Championship this year after a couple of years in Germany. Previously seen him with New York Red Bulls 2 in 2018. Here's Rodriguez on the long ball. And the offside flag was up. Before Lucas Stauffer was with the Red Bulls or in Germany, he was at Creighton. Familiar with him there, former teammates.
Go Blue Jays.
Contact us at tickets@rootssc.com.
Most of the field now engulfed in the shadows as the sun continues to set here at Pioneer Stadium. There was a whistle behind the play for something from Adore Monroy. Away from us. Quick little free kick here for Vegas. Andrew Carlton wants to send this one long. Floats it to the back of the box. 3 players there waiting for it. None for Vegas, get ahead on it. Just over 10 to play here in half number 1. Is there a goal in this first half? It's been a rather sleepy first half for the most part. 4 shots combined, just 1 on target. Oakland had the best opportunity. Ball that deflected off the post, and then they had quite the shout for a penalty. Tyler Bagley got his elbow on it. Other than that, neither goalkeeper has been in harm's way all that often tonight. There was the save off the line by Timothy Zali. So, in a way, a save was made, just not by Leo Diaz in that regard.
I think for Las Vegas Lights, just having a very difficult time trying to find those 2 midfielders, whether it is Rios or Jimenez. Too many times that center backs or outside backs are under so much pressure, so one of them needs to drop down. A little back heel there.
Cedeno back for Tamakis. Those 2 link up so well. Back for Cedeno, but just out of his reach. It was those 2 who combined against El Paso in the build-up to the Lindo Mafeka goal over the weekend. And if you didn't see that goal from Mafeka, go look at it. One of the goals of the week. The chip he had over the far post. A free kick coming again for Vegas from nearly the same spot they had a moment ago. Isidro Sanchez looks like he wants to get out there.
Telling his boys to raise the intensity, getting beats every 50-50 ball. Also need to be a bit smarter with the ball at their feet. You're gonna get these 2 players on the field, Jimenez and Rios, playing in the center of the park for a reason. They are your engine.
Here is Rios. Another return ball from Doling, looking wide for Stauffer. Pardon me, for Ryan. Cleared away by Barbier.
Just going back to that point, if you're Rios or Jimenez, one of your needs is drop off and just give them a different support system, and that's going to draw out Monsoso or Gomez. And as they get drawn out, then Andrew Carlton can play in behind that initial pressure. So again, we talked about center backs picking and choosing when to play and how to play passes. Essentially, you have to look beyond that initial line of confrontation. That's going to be key for Las Vegas Lights to break this initial pressure, because Noah Delgado, we talked about it at El Paso, when those 2 center backs and outside backs with the opposition get the ball, they're going to step high. Tamakis is going to come, Memo Diaz is going to come. They're trying to congest the field and force a team to play on one side of the field. So if you can pick and choose when to change point of attack, there's going to be a lot of real estate to be had for the Las Vegas Lights.
All the way back for Diaz. And Ricky, if you were, again, it's tough to say without being in the locker room and having been with them all season long, but think back to your days as a player. If you were in the position of these Vegas players right now, where they've been so close so many times this year, again, 8 ties, 10 losses, and 6 of those were by 1 goal. Would you be frustrated? Would you be encouraged? Come back to that in a second. Rodriguez, end line, drives it in front. And it's cleared skyward. Rodriguez tries to get it back. Another shout for a handball. Another one that goes unanswered. Would you be encouraged or frustrated, or a bit of both if you're in a Vegas uniform the way this season has gone?
I think there's no hiding behind it that every single player is frustrated, right? Only 1 win this season, but also you understand that you're right there. And that's something that Isidro Sanchez was quick to point out on our phone call, that it's maybe a lack of a defensive rotation, lack of taking your, that's a nice spot for Cedeno.
Cedeno looking through. Barbier couldn't handle it.
We mentioned the 1-goal games that this team has had throughout the season. And that just tells you that they're so close, but little mistakes just like this, trying to force the ball in a central area.
Trayvon Reed looking through for Gomez. That's about 4 or 5 times tonight that we've seen just that, the giveaway in the defensive third. But now Doling brings it ahead. And almost scored it through for Ryan.
And when you play against teams so good in this Western Conference, those little mistakes, you're going to get punished for them. That's what we've seen from the Lights. Yes, it's a lackadaisical, maybe pedestrian-like in the back, and the inability to score goals. That's why you start to see them drop at the bottom of this Western Conference. But how clinical can you be in your defensive 18-yard box and also offensively inside that 18-yard box? Kubo Torres goes out of the league. You have Pato, who gets done with injury, so Josh Jolling has a lot of weight on his shoulders, and he's ready for it. That's something that Isidro Sanchez was quick to point out as well.
Trayvon Reed once again going at that back line. Inside now for Rodriguez, who's hoping for Brian Tamacas. It's a player who wants to get his first goal finally for Oakland. He's come so close and been so instrumental in their attack, but only the one assist to his name without a goal this season. Rios put Jimenez in a bad spot. Cleared out of the corner. Free kick for Vegas. Remember, Clementa lets them off the hook with a foul. It's part of that conversation about the process and being so close for Vegas. It was a brief, funny moment of levity and humanity from Isidro Sanchez. Has a big background in Mexico and Spain, a lot of friends and family over there, and they joked with him half-heartedly, hey, if you had your current record in Mexico or Spain, you probably would have been fired by now. And it was, again, a good moment of levity from him where he acknowledged that it's just different here, and he appreciates that he's been able to have this time to lay this foundation. And when they look at it, they're very proud of what they've built, again, with so much turnover this year and players in, players out for Vegas, with the resources they have to work with. And just wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, I take that back. He would like it with a couple of more wins to his name this year, but just happy the way things have gone and the way the team has grown and battled, no matter who the opponent is across from them all season long. Played over the top now for Tamacas. Has support in the center of the area, tried to find it, and it'll be a throw for Oakland. Shop the latest Oakland Roots and Soul merchandise by visiting shop.oaklandrootssc.com. Stay fresh, rep Oakland, spread love today and all days. Tamacas just barely keeps it in. It's another throw. Taken quickly for Cedeno. Rio skies it. Carlton brings it down. Nice little play in tight quarters there between Carlton, Doling, and Otang, who continues a run now for Carlton. Carlton too early on it, looking for Doling.
Bit overeager to hit that ball, Andrew Carlton. You have time and space. Keep advancing yourself, and then you have Josh Doling and Ryan on that far side. If you try to play early, that gives Hackshaw, Clements, and Barbier the ability to close down and just play back. And
Foul back behind the play against Vegas. Otang doubled over. 8th start of the season. Just 1 assist for him in his first season in the United States, Eric Otang. Last couple of years spent in Finland's top tier with Tampere Ilves. Yellow card out of the pocket again. And this one's for Danny Barbier. Confirm that for you in a moment. Some confusion as to whether it was Barbier or Gomez. If it's Barbier, that would mean Hackshaw and Barbier, both center backs, or 2 of the 3 center backs, to be on yellows, and it is confirmed now for Barbier. So 2 of the 3 members of that back line have yellows. Tamacas. Rodriguez wasn't making that run. Yellow cards are going to be a story as we go deeper into this game. Lucas Stauffer has one for Vegas, and he's already on the referee's radar after a rash challenge immediately after picking up that yellow. Now Hackshaw and Barbier, 2 of the 3 center backs for Oakland with yellows. So something to monitor in this second half. Minute and change, plus what I'm told will be 3 minutes of stoppage time still to go in this first half. Vegas still looking for its first shot on target of the match. Oakland has 2 of their own. They've had the better of the scoring opportunities tonight. Masoso, the outlet for Rodriguez. Back for Masoso. On the Oakland side, this game so far is taking the identity of not the last 2 games when they won 3-1 both times, but the previous 6 where it was very slow, methodical, not many offensive opportunities either way. That was part of their run of 4 draws and 2 losses in 6 games. In that stretch, they only scored 4 goals in 6 games. Turned it around and scored 6 in the last 2. 3 minutes of stoppage time confirmed as we draw toward the end of this first half.
Bring your attention, please, for official. As indicated, there will be a minimum of 3 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half.
Shaw giving up some territory. Finds Barbier, who has still not missed a minute of this season for Oakland. Long ball over the top, a good one in the path of Tamakas. It's out for a goal kick.
And we've seen that ball about 3 times in this first half. Danny Barbier picks up his head. He knows it's going to be a move from Tamakas from outside in, just off the shoulder. Tyler Bagley, fortunate enough for the outside back for Las Vegas Lights. That touch just gets away. The Salvadorian international.
Barbier, Blanchette, only 2 players this year to not miss a minute for Oakland. Impressive for Blanchette, of course, but it's always more impressive when a field player doesn't miss a minute on the season. Barbier still has that record to his name in 2023. Such a commandeering presence at the back for Oakland. Good in the air, good with the ball. And they tried to play quickly, Vegas, and there are just some of the moments where you scratch your head and the miscues for this team as they try and find their way in a wayward season. Have a free kick in the attacking half. Andrew Carlton tried to play quickly. Otang didn't look like he was looking, and it's a wasted crack at a set piece. Fortunately, they'll have another one. Johnny Rodriguez picks up the yellow for that foul. Vegas has another free kick in the attacking half. Stauffer is taking a battering in this first half. Plugged up left nostril. He's been on the wrong side of a couple of rash challenges. Breed him tough at Creighton, Ricky.
That's how we like him.
Driven from the free kick. None of their set pieces have been all that effective for Vegas in this one, whether it's the corners or the free kicks. We'll have another chance at a free kick here. Ryan Tamakas unhappy with this call. Carlton wanted to go quickly again. Thought he might have learned his lesson after a couple of minutes ago. And he will position it up now for a proper free kick.
It's a really big opportunity for Las Vegas Lights. 48th minute. Andrew Carlton, Lucas Stauffer on the ball. Quality is oohing between those 2 players. Aiming for right on top of that 6-yard box between that and the penalty mark. The test, Paul Blanchette, has been widely untested in this first half.
Hasn't faced an official shot on target and hasn't had many crosses to even deal with. Likely to be the last play of this first half. Carlton toward the back post. It's a dangerous ball in, and it's a goal kick. Blanchette misjudged it, and it was open there for the taking on the backside for Timothy Zali, and just like that, The whistle blows to end half number one, but not before Vegas had one really good opportunity.
I think if you're Zala, you have to go with your head. Very difficult to get your foot up that high to get it on target. I do think if you're Cedro Sanchez, you want to get on the ball just a bit more, especially centrally. The relationship between Rios, Jimenez, and Carlton needs to be a bit better. It's all Route 1 into Darling. He was always on an island. He was always isolated for the home side, the Oakland Roots. You're doing extremely well, getting yourself into that final third, but lacking that little bit of quality, whether it's the execution of ball across, beating your individual marker, or just asking questions of Leo Diaz.
We laid it out for you at the top of the broadcast. This Vegas team, yes, they're 1-10-8 on the season, but they have been right in the thick of every game, and most of those coming against solid playoff teams. Tonight, no different. An Oakland side that came into the night in 4th place on the back of 2 straight wins. They're having a tough go, but at home against Vegas. It's scoreless at halftime. The end of halftime show is coming up in just a moment.
Eating a balanced diet and being physically active are 2 of the most important things you can do to be healthy at any age. Fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins can help control your weight and prevent heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Regular exercise can help boost your mood, digestion, and sleep. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots encourage you to eat right and get active. For additional healthy tips, visit www.oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't mini adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
The mission of Fertile Groundworks is of teach, grow, give. Teach people how to grow food for themselves, grow it, and then give it away to people who need it. We grow about 25,000 pounds of food a year. We also operate something we call the Sustainable School Garden Program. Teachers ask us for help setting up a garden on their own campuses. East Bay Community Energy was nice enough to give us $2,500 that we were able to focus on one of our school gardens, and I am truly grateful.
¡No se metió! ¡Balón adentro, golazo!
Welcome into the halftime show brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. It's scoreless through 45 between the Roots and the Lights. And we'll take a look now at a swap that was made between Oakland and Phoenix just yesterday. Some news from around the league. Actually, a lot of moves going on right now around the league as we draw near the end of the time in the summer where the moves quiet down, but a big one between Phoenix and Oakland. Babacar Jai comes Oakland's way. Darek Formella goes Phoenix's way. Juan Guerra, of course, coached Oakland and Formella last year. Really liked the player, and it's going to be some production that Oakland is going to have to figure out how to replace. 6 goals, 2 assists on the year.
And I think this is a completely different look for the Roots. Jai has the ability just to beat players 1v1, and once you get to that final third, yes, it's a bit rash at times, but again, he can produce that little bit of individual brilliance, and that's something that I think if you're Noah Delgado, just the ability to play vertical, to stretch teams, it's going to be really interesting how he fits with this Oakland Roots side. And for Mela going into Juan Guerra, talk about players playing underneath Manuel Ortega and Phoenix Rising. I think him, Panos Armenakis, where does Danny Trejo fit now? I think Juan Guerra has a lot of question marks to be answered now.
It's interesting. It feels like there's a few guys for like 1 or 2 spots for Phoenix, but Babacar Jai comes in and fills a role that Oakland needs with that verticality up and down the left side. So time will tell who gets the better of this one. Both guys maybe just needed some fresh digs, and we'll see how they can fare down the stretch of the season. Now the upcoming schedule, or you might see Babacar Jai, it's a home game coming up this weekend against Detroit for Oakland, and from there, 3 of the next 4 on the road, and some difficult ones at that.
And I think that makes this next 45 minutes so important for Nel Delgado. How do you pick up 3 points here and get that momentum once again as you welcome Detroit City, and then you're going across country, Charleston Battery, Ben Pierman, they're on a high at the moment, just taking care. Pittsburgh Riverhounds last time out. You go to New Mexico at Lynn Family Stadium, so it's not going to be easy for this Oakland Roots. So again, I go back to this next 45 minutes. How do you set the foundation for this tough run of games here?
Playoff race, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team. That's your next 5 games for the Oakland Roots. Not going to be easy. On the other side for Vegas, right now, again, a far cry from the postseason. But if they're going to get on track, they've got a couple of big home games coming up. Not easy by any means, but RGV allowed in 2 teams below their respective playoff lines. Maybe you can pick up some points there and some confidence in doing so at home at Cashman.
And I think if you're Isidro Sanchez, 4 of the next 5 at home, you need to pick up points, and you need to. There's no question marks about it. You thought you were going to pick up points against Hartford. That's why you're so disappointed. But you have RGV. That's a very tricky Wilmer Cabrera. Loudoun United, Ryan Martin struggling, started very well, but they've tapered off. Then you go to Detroit, and then Phoenix Wright, the only team that you beat. So again, there is points to be had for Las Vegas Lights, but that one against Sacramento Republic, that one's going to be very tough. Mark Briggs is on fire at the moment.
It is jarring, by the way, seeing almost all August in that left column. I can't believe we're already at this stage of the season, but here we are, and 3 big points hanging the balance the rest of the way here between Oakland and Vegas. More to come on the Anthem Halftime Show.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
There's nothing like the support of your teammates. When it comes to your health, Anthem Blue Cross is here for you. If you enrolled in a Medi-Cal health plan at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, then you may need to renew your coverage or find a new plan that's right for you. Anthem offers budget-friendly individual and family plans, some starting at $0. Renew your coverage or explore other options. Learn more at remaincovered.com/CA.
What's newsworthy and noteworthy around USL Championship? Plenty at this time of year. Your player of the week, Ryan Telfer. Miami all of a sudden stringing some results together, and Charleston all of a sudden as well, regaining their standing atop the Eastern Conference. And you've got a big game coming up on ESPN2. Colorado Springs against FC Tulsa. Ricky, Tulsa cannot lose. They had 5 straight coming into this little stretch here, and now they're squarely above the playoff line.
What Philip Goodner can do, right? Just the quality that he possesses, the tenacity up front, but also just the motivation, the confidence that he brings into a locker room. That one's going to be very interesting. Colorado Springs switchback. Stephen Hogan, what does that look like at home? ESPN2, Tulsa, be there.
We mentioned to you, of course, the swap between Oakland and Phoenix. There was also a swap today between Louisville and San Diego, so there's a lot going on right now across the league. That was Kyle Adams going Louisville's way and Enoch Mushikalusa going San Diego's way. So now we'll take a look at some scores from the previous weekend, and a busy weekend it was, really setting the table for the upcoming stretch here in USL Championship. These scores brought to you by Visit Oakland. Get out on the town and visit Oakland to explore arts, culture, and world-class cuisine. Before we get into the upcoming weekend, Ricky, we did see an interesting result earlier tonight. Indy going on the road and beating Pittsburgh. What stood out to you from this past weekend?
I think just with Pittsburgh as well, going to Charleston Battery, losing 3-1. So again, if you're Bob Lilly, that's 6 goals against in 2 games. That's something that we don't see very often for the Riverhounds, but also Memphis 9-1, losing at home against Orange County 4-3. New City struggling big time at the moment. Lynn Family Stadium, no problem. Birmingham Legion take all 3 points there.
That was their first 3-game losing streak for Louisville since their inception season in 2015. So they have a lot to figure out to try and get back on track as we look ahead to the upcoming weekend in USL Championship. They'll have a chance to get right back at it, Louisville, in their big rivalry game against Indy. But as far as things pertain to the Western Conference, the big one that sticks out, another Copa Tejas matchup. El Paso really stumbling. They were unbeaten in 12, and now they're winless in 6. And remember, they opened the season with a 3-game losing streak, so it's just been lows and highs for El Paso this year.
I think you look around this USL Championship, I think the number one thing coaches are looking for is just consistency, whether it's in their lineups, but also in performances. That's going to be a really big question mark for El Paso going forward.
And we'll come back in just a moment with half number 2 between Oakland and Vegas. Still scoreless, but plenty to come on a beautiful evening here at Pioneer Stadium.
How can someone so cute be so complicated? Someone so grown up still have so much growing left to do. We know kids aren't many adults. Their still developing bodies and minds need specialized care, including physicians and care teams who focus on treating kids and only kids, which is why from everyday to emergencies, kids belong at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals.
Wouldn't it be great to have delicious, healthy meals delivered right to your door? No planning, shopping, or prepping. And what if your delivery was full of plant-based, fresh ingredients that truly nourish and fuel your body? Try Thistle. Our in-house chefs create a new menu each week for you to choose from before it arrives ready to eat. No prep needed. And for a limited time, you can save $100 off your first 4 weeks. So go ahead and autopilot your diet. Get started today at jointhistle.com.
The mission of Fertile Groundworks is of teach, grow, give. Teach people how to grow food for themselves, grow it, and then give it away to people who need it. We grow about 25,000 pounds of food a year. We also operate something we call the Sustainable School Garden Program. Teachers ask us for help setting up a garden on their own campuses. East Bay Community Energy was nice enough to give us $2,500 that we were able to focus on one of our school gardens, and I'm truly grateful.
Tonight's match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross, UCSF, and Modelo. Bringing the Anthem halftime show to its conclusion with the UCSF Health highlights from half number 1. Only had 2 combined shots on target in that first half. Most of the opportunities belong to the Oakland Roots.
But again, it just came with the inability to play out of the back for the Las Vegas light side, whether it's taking a heavy touch, whether it's playing centrally. But again, for Noah Delgado, not clinical enough and not asking questions and testing Leo Diaz between the 6 red lights.
From there, it just got worse and worse playing out of the back for Vegas. Zali was the one who was the main culprit.
Does very well, to be fair, to clean up his mistake. Last-ditch defending effort takes a lot of the net as well. But John Rodriguez does everything right, gets his body around it. Leo Diaz comes off, not quick enough. Give credit to that man. Cleans up his mistake, because that could have been very bad for the Lights.
Could have been bad on multiple occasions as we went through this half. Zali had 2 of those type of giveaways, and then you saw Marcelo Laz have one at the end of that half as well. It wasn't without opportunities the other way for Vegas. Lage had one of his own off this long ball over the top, and they had the best opportunity of their half at the last play of the half.
I think if Zali goes with his head, it's probably 1-0 Las Vegas Lights as Pablanche just gets caught cheating, not decisive enough, wayward moments, and he knows it. Hand up the goalkeeper for the Oakland Roots.
Oakland outpossessed Vegas, they outshot Vegas, had more shots on target, but at the end of the day, it is still 0-0 on the scoreboard as we head now into half number 2. Oakland hoping to win a third straight game, but so far, they have had no luck in getting past Leo Diaz. Already one sub to note. We'll work it out for you specifically in just a moment, but captain's armband has been handed from Emre Clemente to Joseph Nane, who's in now for half number 2. I'll let you know as soon as we know who came off the field and officially put in the sub yet. And it is for Napo Masoso. We saw Masoso go down with an injury briefly. You wonder if that played any sort of role. So Nane in, Masoso out. Oakland right to left in the black, Vegas left to right in the white and blue, and we're underway now in half number 2. Oakland Roots, Las Vegas Lights on a Wednesday night here in the USL Championship. That sub brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. Providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more. Masoso out, Nane in. What does that do in the midfield for the Roots? Two players who maybe occupy the same position, but by no means are they the same type of player in that role.
I think you're going to see Gomez push up a bit higher now because we've talked about the experience and the quality. You see someone get a yellow card on the bench of Las Vegas Lights.
Isidro Sanchez picks it up.
Going back to the Roots, I think Joseph Nane is just going to sit right in front of that back three of the Oakland Roots and just be a connector on the ball, but also just clog passing lanes, because the biggest threat, for Las Vegas Lights is just a relationship between, watch out.
Cedeno earns a throw for the Roots.
Just a relationship between Adrian Carlton and Josh Dowling on that front line playing centrally, so he's going to sit right in front of them and just be a destroyer. So you're going to start to see Gomez play underneath Reed and Cedeno, so now you're going to overload centrally for the Oakland Roots. And then as Las Vegas Lights, they need to play central. They're going to provide real estate around. You're going to see more Memo Diaz. You're going to see more Brian Tamaka. So it's a good tactical change for Noah Delgado.
Long toss from Hackshaw, headed away by Rio. Cedeno swung and missed. Oteng gets it past Tamakas to the end line. Oteng runs a corner for Las Vegas. We only have a moment. Let's do some housekeeping. It was not Isidro Sanchez who picked up that yellow card on the Vegas bench. It was the backup goalkeeper, Andre Zuluaga. So if you get a keeper sub in this game, Zuluaga will come in with a yellow card. Don't think it'll matter tonight.
They not have that on my bingo card, that's for sure.
Carlton positions the corner, second of the match for Vegas. Oakland also had 2 in that first half. Dorian Monroy holds it up for just a moment. Carlton swings it in near post. It comes all the way through. Just begging for somebody at the near post or in the middle of the 6 to go for it. Somehow got all the way through to the back post. And Marcelo Lage, for the second time tonight, probably should have scored.
And it's the second time for the Roots, just a lack of individual marking. As he comes around the corner, Emre Clemente just leaves him. As it hits off the turf, just misguides it. Lage should do better from that, about 2 yards out. If you get it on target, it's 1-0 Las Vegas Lights, and a dream start to the second half. I think the Oakland Roots get away with one.
to make it seem like I'm trying to do a salesman job on this game for Las Vegas. Again, the record is 1-10-8. That is a fact, but you just go through it. 3-3 tie against Birmingham, 2-2 draw against New Mexico, 2-1 loss against Tampa Bay, 1-0 loss against Louisville. That's their last stretch of play before they had that hiccup 2-0 against Hartford. This is a team that is significantly better than their record indicates, and Oakland is learning that right now through 50 minutes.
It's been very difficult to break down, just so compact from front to back. There's been instances when they just played into the hands of the Oakland Roots, but for the Las Vegas Lights, offensively, here at Cedar St. Joseph, you have to be extremely happy. The next step in that is just offensively. You need to get more in a rhythm. You need to keep talking about that relationship. Andrew Carlton, I think he's going to be massive for the success for Las Vegas Lights, just picking and choosing and having the freedom to roam around, whether it's between lines, playing in behind Josh Jolling, underneath him. You need to get them on the same page if you're Cedar St. Joseph and Las Vegas Lights.
Here's Dalling. Don't think we've seen a moment tonight where Dalling had an opportunity to go goalward. He was always trying to look for somebody else to play it off to. Blanchette bombs this one away. Sliced through the middle nearly to Trayvon Reed. Cut out by Lucas Stauffer. Issa Ryan. Ryan working on Diaz. Still Issa Ryan, slips it through for Dalling. Back heel to Ryan, pulled it wide. Best looking attack of the night in the build-up for Las Vegas, but it's still scoreless.
It's such a smart run. Josh Jolling just plays off the shoulder of Nabil Hackshaw, and as he comes across, he understands no one's tracking Issa Ryan. Cheeky little back heel, but just pulls it a bit too wide. Quality is there, no question about it, but the execution for the Lights needs to be a bit better.
Here's Gomez. Tamakas through for Gomez. Now Rodriguez tries to turn into the hands of Leo Diaz.
We've seen him progress in his game so much. John Rodriguez. Bruce came into the USL. He got 10-15 minutes to run out at the end of the game, but now took this position as Otar Carlson makes way back to Europe and made it his, excuse me. Whether it's playing with his back to goal, whether it's popping in to link up play, just a confidence that he's grown in this Oakland Roots side. Watch out.
Nasty challenge in on Nane. Good to see him bounce back up. Jimenez committed the foul. We've seen yellow cards given for less tonight. Precedent set by Adore Monroy. Interesting to see this one go without it. Nasty there, the studs came in. Watch the right foot of Nane just get stepped on right there.
Just comes over the top. It's the aftermath.
No card shown. 4 yellow cards out there. Nabil Hackshaw, Danny Barbier, Johnny Rodriguez for Oakland. Lucas Stauffer for Las Vegas. And their backup goalkeeper, Andrea Zuluaga, on the bench in case he comes in as a yellow. Memo Diaz drives it ahead. Tamakas, it's saved by Diaz. Fumbled for a moment, but he got on top of it before Nabil Hackshaw can poke it home.
Just lack of marking for the Lights. Here, Brian Tamakas, you put it on either side of Leo Diaz, it's 1-0 for the Oakland Roots. He hit it extremely well, but just straight at the goalkeeper for the Lights.
USL's second annual summer showcase signals the start of this sprint to the finish. Philip Goodrum and FC Tulsa head west to face Romario Williams and Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. FC Tulsa Switchbacks FC Wednesday, August 9th at 9 Eastern on ESPN2. Will Tulsa's winning streak still be intact by the time we get there? back for Clementa. Blanchett looking long, flicked on by Diaz. One of the shortest players on the field. Got up to flick that one along. Shaw shields it all the way out. Well, we have a moment looking ahead. Let's answer that question. Tulsa's at Tampa Bay this weekend. Then they're home to Louisville before that game at Colorado Springs. Winners of 5 in a row. Tampa Bay on the road, Louisville at home. What they would need to do to keep it unbeaten. Given away by Trayvon Reed. Andrew Carlton picks it up, advantage played. Carlton finds Dolling, it's blocked and cleared.
My answer is no.
I agree with you. A winning streak might snap. Actually, I'll say the winning streak will definitely snap. Unbeaten run might stay alive. They could get a couple ties there. Now it's ahead for Tamakas. Brian Tamakas looking for Gomez centrally. Nane to Rodriguez. Been games this season where it seemed like things weren't clicking offensively for Oakland, and then out of nowhere, Johnny Rodriguez makes something happen. 1-0 wins against New Mexico and Colorado Springs come to mind as games that fall in that category. And had the game winner last game against El Paso. Scored twice in 5 minutes. Mafeka, then Rodriguez, and then late on, Anwar Pelaez dropped the hammer, made it 3-1. Here's Barbier pressing through the middle. Danny Barbier still with it. Rodriguez. Rodriguez doesn't get it away convincingly. Now it's Trayvon Reed. Overlap coming from Diaz. Into Barbier. Now through to Diaz at the end line. It's blocked by Lage. And the offside flag did come up late on Memo Diaz.
That's exactly what I mentioned, just overloading the central channels. So as Las Vegas Lights get pinned back, you're going to start to see a lot of real estate open up around the corner. We've seen Danny Barbier, we've seen Memo Diaz and Tamakas on that far side get involved, but you have to give credit to the line of Las Vegas Lights, whether it's Bagley on that near side, Lucas Stauffer on this near side. Tracking runners, yes, but also stepping in unison, trying to catch offside this Oakland Roots outside players.
Oakland live table coming in the night, sitting in 4th place, tied on points with San Diego, though San Diego right now has a couple of games in hand. Lindo Mafeka coming in for Trayvon Reed on the Oakland side.
He replaces Trayvon Reed.
Lindo Mafeka, one of the goals of the week last week. For him, it was on the season his 4th goal. Eclipsed last season's goal total of 3. It looks like Danny Rios is jogging off for Vegas. Seems to be all right. Just had to come off after he received some medical attention. 4th officials coming over to get the substitution card. Jacob Bouchou is about to come on for Vegas. He's been a regular starter this season, Bouchou. 19 appearances, 17 of those starts. Spent the last 6 years in Finland. He will come on as part of a trio, pardon me, 2 substitutions. Well, they had 18 up on the board. It's 19. 4th official notice it now. Click it 1 up. There you go. There you go. 17 for 19. Oh, he's got to work on it. It's Bouchou coming on for Danny Rios. We'll confirm that for you. 4th official will do so in just a moment. And then Preston Table-Rataka will also enter for Issa Ryan. Technology's hard. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. There it is. Well, close enough. He has the colors flipped now. And the red 17 and the green 19. In any regard, it's Preston Tewarataka on for Issa Ryan. And Danny Rios coming off for Jacob Bushu. First 2 subs of the night for Las Vegas. Tewarataka's a spark coming in off the bench, has 3 goals, 1 assist this season. In his 16 appearances, 12 of those starts.
Now for the Las Vegas Lights, the wide players just have the ability to stretch the game and get in behind this back line of the Roots. So if you're Memo Diaz and Brian Tamaka, I saw them.
Good service from Tewarataka. Doling was there. Under it just a bit. That's the instant impact that Tewarataka can have.
Gives you energy, gives you quality, and that man is going to be chopping at the bit to get service as well. Extremely quiet, 60 minutes in. But he's been very good at just staying high and occupying Akshay, Barbier, and Clemente, not giving them the freedom to step into that middle third.
Well, Diaz never felt the pressure of Tewarataka, but Mafeka has it back for Oakland. An hour has come and gone here at Pioneer Stadium with MLS veteran Ricky Lopez-Espin. I'm Joe Malfa. Happy to have you with us tonight. Oakland Roots, Las Vegas Lights, some West Coast Wednesday night action in USL Championship as Carlton goes for goal, and it's saved by Blanchette. We mentioned it in the first half. There are few players who can come up with the individual brilliance of Andrew Carlton, and it was nearly on full display.
Casual on one end here from Joseph Nane. The complete, utter opposite. The audacity it takes from Andrew Carlton to pull this off and has eyes for the back of the net, but give credit to Paul the Wall. Takes a lot of the posts on the end of it, knows the contact is coming, but what a fantastic save. The athletic ability, hand-eye coordination to punch it away from goal. Top class, Sports Center. Heads up.
Looked like a wide receiver just looking over the shoulder for that bomb coming down to make the grab. Slapped it around the post, now deals with the corner, punches this one away. Emma Clemente drew the foul. Mentioning the NFL might be a touchy subject in this one with the Raiders having gone from Oakland to Las Vegas. Apologies.
Come on, Joe.
Still too soon. Clemente seems to be all right, waved off any support from the trainers as they were ready to come onto the field.
These are the ones that after training you just stay off of 10, 15 minutes just trying to find the back of the net. He hits it so well, he does everything right. That's such a good save. He's running backwards, he knows the post is there, he knows the goal is there, so he needs to get there before. Makes it look a lot easier, Paul Blanchette.
Otang driving at that Oakland back line. Otang! It's saved by Blanchette.
He makes a wrong decision in the end. Otang, head full of steam, running downhill, but he has Tewarataka widely unmarked at this far post. He just picks up his head and sweats his ball across to 1v1. But I do think for Las Vegas Lights, a different look going forward. You have Otang and Tewarataka, just burners, speed, pace, power, all the above. So again, having that balance defensively for the wingbacks for the Roots is going to be key. When to step and when to drop.
This result holds for Vegas. Again, another one to chalk up in their tale of close but no cigar this season. It would be their 8th draw against a team over the playoff line and their 9th draw overall. A goal kick on the way. The Roots are back home on July 29th at Cal State University East Bay against Detroit City FC. Limited single game tickets still available. Purchase yours now before they sell out. To secure your tickets, visit us at oaklandrootssc.com/tickets or call 510-488-1144. An official derby match between Oakland and Detroit, but sort of attached at the hip. The two most recent new additions to USL Championship from NISA. One sort of laid the blueprint for the other. Mafeka Here's Tabor Ataka. Looking through for Darling. And Chet, will he get there to stop it before it's out for a corner? Seems the answer is yes. A little throw in for Vegas. Good hustle from Paul Blanchette. Throw-ins from this portion of the field have basically been corners, though, for Vegas. They've gone long every time, and they do again. Hackshaw, a strong header, clear. Elsewhere, Sacramento up 1-0 on Phoenix, 25 minutes in. Through to Darling. Now it's Carlton, looking back for Darling. Rebounds back for Carlton, and he earns a corner, and he'll go out and take.
You just feel the confidence growing for this Las Vegas Light side. More involved. All comes from that man getting on the ball a bit more.
Carlton, rainbow of a corner kick headed away by Clementa. Only as far as Zali. Whip back in, deflected toward the far post, and it goes wide. Should be a corner here. And it will be.
If you're Marcelo Lodge, you need to be proactive. You need to crash that far post and get on the end of it. Get caught on your heels. If you have a little bit of anticipation, that's at the doorstep. Too many players in a white jersey just looking around. That man is the only one to make an action on the ball.
Carlton drives this one near post. Rodriguez, the header away. Mafeka clearing further. Right now the field is tilted in Vegas' favor. Dangerous pass back, intercepted by Cedeno. Looking to get around the other side. And it's taken back by Bagley. Almost gifted an opportunity, Oakland. Just as I was saying, it was tilted in Vegas' favor. The last thing you needed was that, a giveaway. Now played through for Darling, and on goal, Joshua Darling, denied by Blanchette. Opening up a bit here in the 66th minute.
As this game opens up, it really plays favor into Las Vegas Light. Just the willing runners that they have. Great interchange. Josh Dowling, he pick out a corner. He knows he should do better with the quality that he has. It's a good first touch. He pulled us back across that far post. In the end, it's an easy save straight at Paul Blanchette. Tabor Ataka, Otang really has come to life in the second half. Tabor Ataka has been everywhere on the field, just making players miss. As he acquires so much attention on the back end of it, that gives a lot of real estate for Josh Dowling to operate in.
Over the top by Stauffer. Here's Darling. The subs made by Vegas have allowed Darling to really spring to life. Service has been there. Dangerous moments have been there for a player who was nearly invisible in the first half through no fault of his own. Just has that lone 9 up top. The ball never found him. Now it's starting to find him in a big way.
We see a bit, Joe, just getting on the ball a bit more. This Las Vegas Light side, moving the ball from left to right, opening up gaps, and now you start to see the players centrally getting more involved, especially the wingbacks as well.
Tabor Ataka tried to weave through 3 defenders. First half, it was 5 shots to 3 in Oakland's favor, 2 on target to none. Second half, different story. 7 shots to 1 in Vegas' favor, and 3 shots on target to 1 in Vegas' favor. Maybe something on again here. Stauffer, end line, corner on the way again for Vegas in this second half alone. This is their 5th corner. Pillai is getting ready to check on for Oakland. All season long, that has been a like-for-like switch with Johnny Rodriguez. Imagine it would be the same again.
2-4. Yeah, 2.4.
Fifth corner of this second half for Andrew Carleton. Edge of the area, or edge of the six, I should say. Now it's back out for Otang, blasted through traffic and blocked by Oakland.
Adams still on 1 quarter.
Minutes to go. As Stauffer gets it ahead for Darling. Carleton gets it past Diaz, only for a moment, protesting for a handball. Nane. Tamakas lays it off for Gomez. Nane, heavy touch. Came in recklessly. Just committed that foul. Now it's Tibor Taka running with Stauffer. Tibor Taka cuts past Nane. Feeds Carleton. Back for Tibor Taka. Lost his footing. Cleared by Clementa. Now it's Otang. Chance here for Otang. Looks through, and it's wide of the post. Offside flag came up. Couldn't tell if Tibor Taka was waiting for that one to maybe go in on its own or get a touch on it. In the end, he's caught out offside. Andres Jimenez will come off as Justin Ingram takes his place. Prentice will come on for Memo Diaz. Prentice starting to grow on this coaching staff with what he's shown. Went away on loan for a bit this season, and then recalled after Eduardo Rito was sent to Hartford, needing the depth at that position. Prentice was with San Diego and Nisa for a year before Oakland picked him up last year. He was loaned to Northern Colorado in 2022 and Forward Madison here in 2023, both in USL League One. You get some experience, Prentice, that's paid off. Tamakas looks back outside, contact there, and no call made, play on. Now whipped back in by Prentice. Looking for Pelaez. It was Prentice to Pelaez for that third goal against El Paso this past weekend, but not this time.
And he's going to be a focal point going forward now for the Oakland Roots. Pelaez, big physical number 9, under so much pressure at the moment, the home side, so someone to just play off of. But as he gets his back into Lodge and Zali, there needs to be a secondary action, whether it is the Lumafeka underneath him, Cedeno underneath him, or someone just running in behind. Playing the ball into the feet of Anwar Pelaez is going to be massive. Just relieve some of the pressure for the Oakland Roots. For Las Vegas Lights, it really tells you where Cedro Sanchez's mind is at. You bring in Ingram, he was someone that he pointed out in our phone call, such a special player that can produce, give quality, especially in that final third, to pick out that final action. So look for him to get on the ball. How quickly can he get in a rhythm? That's going to be massive for the Lights as well.
Akshaw put it directly above him in the air. Fortunate it didn't come down to a white jersey, and a free kick for Oakland. Ricky, coming into the night, Oakland sitting in 4th place on 30 points. We're just clear of 10th place Phoenix by 4 points. That's it, 4 points separated 4th and 10th. So the good news for Oakland right now, while they have failed to take a lead and pick up the extra 2 points so far tonight, is that Phoenix is already down 2-0 against Sacramento a half an hour in. Now over the top again, this time toward Prentice. And it is out for an Oakland throw. Yeah, watch the match. Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, you can hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Long toss from Hackshaw. Hackshaw gives it away. Don't see that from him often. Tabor Ataka has the help of Dolling on the backside. It's still Tabor Ataka with help. Ataka goes far post and put it wide. Dolling is screaming at him. He wanted that square ball across, and it probably should have been played.
It's been the story of the season for Las Vegas Lights. Brilliant opportunities. He does everything right. He makes Prentice make a decision. As Prentice goes to Dolling, if you have a shot, you need to put it on target. Either near post, high and wide, or far post, low and hard. If you don't get it on target, you need to play that across the Dolling. Rightly so, the striker just barking at Tabor Ataka. What an opportunity that goes begging for Las Vegas Lights.
If Oakland is going to extend this 2-game winning streak to a 3-game winning streak, something has to change for the Roots, because the 30 minutes we've seen in this second half look like the Oakland team from that 6-match winless run that preceded their last 2 wins in a row. Now ahead to Pelais, maybe this is the moment! Yes, it is! Just like that, Oakland ahead 1-0.
Overcommit, try to get that opening goal, but you give credit to Brian Tamakas. Picks his head up and just plays it into the path of his striker. And as a striker, you want to stay high, you want to occupy the 2 center backs, playing off the shoulder of Zali and Lodge, but give credit to Pelais. He takes it too early. And as he takes it early, that really cuts down the angle for Leo Diaz, not to make a save, not to get his footing right. And that's a striker's goal. Massive for the Roots. Against the run of play, yes. Deserved for the Oakland Roots. Get their goal at home.
That goal is a $510 donation to Oakland Parks and Rec Foundation, brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. OPRF provides financial and volunteer resources and advocates for recreation programs and parks in Oakland. It is the 2nd game in a row that Anwar Pelais helps contribute to that fund. Made it 3-1 over the weekend against El Paso. It's a confident man right now. Goals in back-to-back games, and now 3 on the season for Oakland.
It's just so important that he takes it early, because if he lets that ball bounce once again, that really cuts down the angle. That gives Leo Diaz the ability to make himself big. You talk about a striker being confident, you can see it. His movement is so decisive. He knows exactly what he's doing before he gets the ball, and just to run. When you have a player like Brian Tamakas with the vision from an outside angle to bend this into a path, it's just a brilliant goal for the Oakland Roots.
Another long toss from the throw-in. Falls dangerously here for Vegas to get that goal right back. It's Ingram. It's blocked by a teammate. Letang got in the way of it. Dozen minutes to play. Game looks a bit different now. This, Ricky, is why so far this season Vegas has the record it has. More of that in a second. Racing out ahead for it, Tamakas. Pelais showing for support. Tamakas goes down. And it is just out for a goal kick, but moments prior to that goal for Oakland, you had that golden opportunity with Tabor Ataka and Dolan the other way. You don't convert, and in this half, if you're Vegas, you've outshot Oakland 10-2. And here we are, it's 1-0 Oakland, the sign of a team that just can't get it over that finish line, and the reason maybe they've been so close yet so far all season long.
We just talk about critical moments in both defensively but offensively inside their 18-yard box. A bit selfish in the end from Tabor Ataka not to play into Darling, who has an open goal. And now he elects to go by himself, goes wayward, and then you overextend and you leave yourself vulnerable in the back at just one ball that breaks this whole entire back line for the Lights. And that's been the story for the Lights. Managing moments, not clinical enough defensively, not clinical enough offensively, and yet again, they see themselves down.
If this scoreline holds here in their 20th game, Las Vegas, it'll be their 16th of the 20, decided by 1 goal. And of their 10 losses coming in, 6 of those were by 1 goal. So make it 7 out of 11, again, if this scoreline holds. Couple that with the 8 ties they've had, and 8 ties against 7 teams currently above the playoff line after Indy won earlier tonight and helped bolster that record for Vegas. Bounce here, bounce there. That's what Noah Delgado actually said, complimentary of Vegas. Instead of bounce here, bounce there, and it's a team that's right there in the mix at that 8 seed in the Western Conference playoff battle. But these are just the moments where they have not had enough. How can they get it back and try to get this level again? Meanwhile, Oakland all of a sudden has the confidence. Stauffer gives it away to Mafeka. Mafeka off the noggin of Wolfgang Prentice.
And also, Joe, just speaks volumes to the quality of the USL Championship and how decisive little mistakes can be. As the level keeps rising, margins of errors are just so thin. You turn off mentally for 1 second, you see yourself down, lead, but also if you could capitalize on a run of play, against a run of play, you're up, and it's a completely different game. Great movement.
Cedeno and Tamakas connecting. Tamakas centering toward Pelai's corner on the way.
I think if you're an Oakland Roots fan, you have to be extremely pleased just with the relationship on that far side. Tamakas and Cedeno understand each other's movement. Quick, crisp passing around the corner, very slippery, very clever. That man, he's been massive for the success of the Oakland Roots offensively and defensively. Provides something that not many players in USL Championship have done.
Meanwhile, Sacramento has now taken a 3-0 lead on Phoenix in that first half. So if you're Oakland coming into the night, 4 points clear of Phoenix, that's all it was, separating 4th and 10th, just 4 points. Now you have a 7-point cushion in the live table over a team that's become a rival because of the connection, of course, with Juan Guerra. Swung in by Mafeka. Clementa's header goes wide. Another East Bay Community Energy corner for the Roots. That nets nothing in the end, but a dangerous ball by Mafeka, and one that Clementa might want to have back.
Yeah, those are so tricky. Because as you get free at that near post, you don't need to hit it too hard. You just need to help it on into a dangerous area. Clementa just tries to do too much with it, tries to generate too much power.
It is 4-0 Sacramento, by the way, now. Just received word. So piling on. All the goals tonight in the Western Conference seemingly in that game. Only the one here so far. Let's see if there's more in store. Vegas on the attack again. It's Carlton looking ahead for Tabor Ataka. Wolfgang Prentice gets it clear as Oakland now just goes into defense first mode. Getting it clear ahead any chance they get. Bushu. All the way back now for Diaz. Tabor Ataka Leads Carlton, lost his footing briefly, and he was disappointed in himself after that one. Oakland looking for the insurance. CL Cedeno. Chips it over the top for Brian Tamakas. Into the area, Tamakas, saved by Diaz. Took an awkward carom. Well, the shot by Tamakas might have been a cross that happened to ricochet on goal, actually. Either way, Diaz was there. Four different goal scorers, by the way, for Sacramento in that game. Keko, Cicerone, Lewis, Gurr. 4 goals, 4 different sources. A 4-0 lead nearing halftime for Sacramento at home against Phoenix. Dolling. If you're an Oakland fan tuning in, probably not thrilled to see your Sacramento NorCal Derby rival winning 4-0 on Phoenix, but if you're a Roots fan who is unhappy with how things ended with Juan Guerra, there's a positive side to it, so take the good with the bad.
Always glass full, Joe, come on.
Swerved in toward Tabor Nataka. Either way, regardless of that result over there, it'll feel a lot better if Oakland can hold on for the victory tonight. Cedeno. It's another strong game for Oakland. Here he is again up the right side. Almost made his way through the traffic. Iwarataka for Otang. Dolling making that run near the penalty spot. It's sent his way. Last minute intervention by Barbier.
Really good position there from Danny Barbier. He does not make that play. Josh Dolling is just at the doorstep, and he's an easy finish for the player of that quality. The last 5 minutes we've seen the Las Vegas Lights just go away a little bit from what made them so successful.
Another dangerous ball in toward Dolling, punched away by Blanchette. Night and day from half one to half two, the type of service that Dolling has received from his teammates.
That's something that Isidro Sanchez mentioned to us as well, Joe. When he had a conversation with Josh Dolling saying, look, we want you to come here. He said, I've noticed just the quality of service that you guys provide, especially from wide areas, whether it's Lucas Soft or whether it's Tyler Bagley.
Barbier keeps it, looking through for Prentice. He's taken down at the end line, and it's a goal kick. Oakland thought it'd be either a penalty or a corner, but it's out for a goal kick. Bagley. 14 shots for Vegas tonight, only 3 on target. One of those shots on target came from about 65 yards out for Andrew Carlton. Nane. Never felt the pressure coming from behind by Stauffer. Otang. Here in the 88th minute, Vegas looking to equalize. Otang ridden toward the end line, and he's called for the foul. Chance to remind Roots fans to celebrate your next event with the Oakland Roots. Groups of 10 or more can take advantage of specially priced tickets and enjoy memorable experiences, including player meet and greets, parade of champions, playing on the field at halftime, and more. To reserve your group experience, contact us at tickets@rootssc.com or call 510-488-1144. Hasn't been the cleanest performance all night for the Oakland Roots, but as you get into late July and August and are gearing up for that stretch run in September, these are the games where you have to grit through it, find a way to pick up the 3 points, because it might mean a lot when you're looking at the table come mid-end of September. Sign of true, strong playoff teams who would like to have a home playoff game, which is a goal that is first and foremost on the mind of the Oakland Roots. Last 2 years, yes, they won playoff games, but they came on the road. It want to have a historic first home playoff game. Going to do that, these are the games you have to just find a way. And that's what they've done so far tonight, especially in this second half. 3 shots, 2 on target in this second half. And the goal by Anwar Pillai is back in the 76th minute. Stauffer chips through for Tabor Ataka. At the end line, he centers it, looking for Otang. And in the 90th minute, Diaz all the way up to send this one back forward. Cedeno couldn't keep it in. Another change coming here for Vegas. That'll be off for Marcelo Laz. Azriel Gonzalez takes his place, sacrificing his center back for an attacking piece. Have to now. Four minutes of stoppage time for the Oakland Roots to see these 3 points over the finish line. Vegas last won a game, and it's their only win of the season still, on May 26th. 2 full months ago to the day. Barring something late and miraculous, they'll stay out of the win column again tonight. But can they at least draw level? Salvage some positive and some confidence from this, and Vegas wanted the advantage. In the end, it was a good thing it wasn't given because Azriel Gonzalez fluffed his lines, brought back for a free kick. After a 6-match winless run for the Oakland Roots. Now 3 minutes away from a 3rd consecutive victory. Flipped ahead, Blanchette was not confident coming off his line, took a couple of steps, waited back, and now a corner for Vegas. Lindo Mafeka picked up a yellow card. He was in the wall there for Oakland. Norrie Monroy holds up the play. This would be a 3rd win in 11 days for Oakland. Before this run began, they'd actually fallen out of the playoff picture, just below the line. If this holds, they'd be all the way up to 3rd place. Corner whipped in, headed away by Akshaw. Can Oakland release now and put this away? There's nobody between Pillai and the goal. Here's Anwar Pillai in alone and put it wide.
You look at his physical attributes and you think he's just a target number 9. Does he prove people wrong? Turns on the afterburners and just stretches and gets in behind this back line of the Lights. Just pulls it a bit too wide. We didn't see the same quality that we saw in his goal. Just gets it overzealous.
Final minute now. They would have liked the insurance. Absolutely, Oakland, but they might not need it. Let's Go Oakland ringing out from the crowd. A crowd that hopes it's seconds away from another 3 points celebrated on home turf. Bouncing ball falls through here, poked over the line, and in! Will it stand? No! Doling, an unnecessary touch at the end, trying to claim it for himself, and the offside flag comes up. Had he let it be, it would have been a goal for Vegas. Here's a look.
Just Route 1, and if you're Paul Blanchette, you've been very undecisive coming off your line, but as Gonzalez gets there before, you just see Carlton ahead of the ball. No need to get on the end of it. Has eyes for the back of the net. Those are ones that you just scratch your head if you're Cedro Sanchez and says, what else do we need to do to find the back of the net? The nervy moments between the sticks for the Roots, and also Ember Clemente just completely misreading the flight, the bounce of the ball. But as Andrew Carlton ventures off in front of the ball, that's what catches him offside.
Some confusion now between the benches. Fourth official talking to Andre Monroy, the referee. Yellow card was given to Isidro Sanchez, the head coach of Vegas. Sent long by Blanchette. Whistle could be coming at any moment now. Clemente shields it. Goal kick. Will they even need to take it? No! There's the final whistle! A third win in 11 days for the Oakland Roots. And it was dramatic at the finish. This right here was called offside. Oakland holds on to win it 1-0.
Second glance, Joe. Andrew Carlton holds his run. I think he is onside. The Oakland Roots will not care about it. Question marks or not. 3 points in the bag for the Oakland Roots. They keep ascending up this Western Conference table, but give credit to Noel Delgado pushing every right button to bring on this man. Takes his goal ever so well. Oakland Roots, probably not the prettiest of games, but most effective 3 points.
Take a look now at tonight's save of the match as tempers are flaring after the game here. Cooler heads are prevailing on the sideline. We look at this calm, cool save. Not really a calm, cool save, but it was made to look easy in the end by Paul Blanchette. It was anything but up until that point there.
Just a fantastic effort from Andrew Carlton first, but second, fantastic, even better save from Paul Blanchette. You can see the reaction from Doling. His eyes for the back of the net as he's retreating over probably 10, 15 yards. Eyes on the ball, hand-eye coordination, last-ditch defending save. Fantastic from Paul the Wall.
Well, just one of those nights, if you're Oakland, where you're happy to get out of here with 3 points. They probably weren't the better team tonight, but they're the team leaving with the victory. We wrap it up on the other side of this break. Oakland 1, Vegas 0, your final score.
Little things can make a big difference. To have families access much needed resources, Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up to deliver 2,300 diapers to the East Oakland Collective. By supporting parents and babies, we can improve the health of our communities. Here's to a brighter future and many more random acts of kindness. Learn more at oaklandrootsatsea.com/anthem.
Wouldn't it be great to have delicious, healthy meals delivered right to your door? No planning, shopping, or prepping. And what if your delivery was full of plant-based, fresh ingredients that truly nourish and fuel your body? Try Thistle. Our in-house chefs create a new menu each week for you to choose from before it arrives ready to eat. No prep needed. And for a limited time, you can save $100 off your first 4 weeks. So go ahead and autopilot your diet. Get started today at jointhistle.com.
11 days ago, the Oakland Roots, at the tail end of a 6-match winless run, had fallen below the playoff line. Things change quickly in this league. 9 points in 11 days, 3 straight victories. And right now, they sit in 3rd place in the Western Conference. A 1-0 win tonight over Las Vegas Lights. We'll take a look at the full-time highlights from a match, Ricky, that Vegas really controlled in the second half. Oakland the better team in the first half, Vegas the better team in the second half, but against the run of play, 76 minute, you'll see Anwar Pillai is the difference maker tonight.
It was just so interesting the way that this game went back and forth, back and forth. This is a good opportunity for Tamakas. He does everything right. He hits it extremely well, but straight at Leo Diaz. But that's something that Isidro Sanchez mentioned to us, saying, look, we're right there. Little instances, maybe it's a lack defensively, but not clinical enough on the attacking phase. But this is probably a highlight reel for Pablo and Chet.
Somehow, some way, the best angle of it is the one that you see at the tail end where he's spinning right then left and right again and somehow tracks it. This one right here, he starts to his right, tracks back to his left, manages to slap it away and kept the game 0-0 at that point, which is important as you go deeper into the second half.
And again, when Isidro Sanchez dipped into his bench, Tabor Atako was massive, and as he grew in confidence, Otsane got involved, and if you're Josh Jolling, just didn't seem confident when he got into around that 18-yard box. It's a good first touch out of his body, but as a striker, you know, low and hard to that far post or high and near to that near post, but straight at Paul the wall once again.
And right after a good chance for Vegas, quickly the other way, bolt through to Pillai, and he did the rest.
Just so clinical around the corner. Tamakas understands, but the ability to take this off the half bounce for Pillai really gives Leo Diaz no opportunity to set his feet. It's too quick, he can't react quick enough, and that's a clinical finish. But give credit to Brian Tamakas, to vision, the technical ability to bend this into the path of the striker.
And at the very end of things, Pillai had a chance to double his tally, and you didn't think the Roots would need the insurance because it was so close to the end. They almost needed it. This one just sailed wide.
Yeah, just a bit overzealous here as he closes up his hips too early. That's why you see it pull wide, but you talk about him turning on the afterburners, and this is the confusing call, not offside there from Andrew Carlton. He is behind, as we see clear as day. I think the Las Vegas Lights feel hard done by.
They feel hard done. When you're 110-9, those are some of the breaks that unfortunately go against you. And if you're the Oakland Roots, on a night where the stats paint a picture of a pretty even game, felt like Vegas the better team in the second half, and felt like Vegas should have at least had a point. If that call had gone the way it probably should have.
But again, over expanding yourself, leave yourself extremely vulnerable. Give credit to Tamakas and Pillai came on the field and did everything that Noah Delgado asked and more. But again, for Isidro Sanchez, it's the same story, different chapter of the book. Yes, you're good in between the boxes, but not clinical enough in the attacking phase. Your strikers aren't clinical. Tabor Ataka, a bit indecisive, a bit selfish as he gets to that final third. And defensively, too many lapses, whether it was Lodge, whether it was Zali stepping, covering. That's why you see Pillai getting behind. But if you're Noah Delgado, you watch film, you learn from this, you take a massive 3 points at home, and then you get ready to go again on the weekend.
Both of these teams in action this Saturday. Vegas will host Sacramento. Oakland will host Detroit City. You can catch some more USL action still tonight, ready to begin the second half. Sacramento and Phoenix, but that'll do it for us. A third straight victory for the Oakland Roots. It comes 1-0 over Las Vegas Lights. My broadcast partner, Ricky Lopez-Espin, and the crew that makes this possible. I'm Joe Malva saying good night from Pioneer Stadium.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.